नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, वणक्कम, खंबागड़ी, राम राम सा। आप सभी को ऑलरेडी वीडियो में फिर से स्वागत है। वी हैव श्रीराम शेषाद्री सा ऑन अ वेरी हॉट टॉपिक which was not to be missed. There is a big scam which has come out from Tamil Nadu, and DMK is again on back foot. DMK is again exploding with the news. It seems DMK and scams is, it's like Congress and A to Z scams. Similar thing is happening. It seems, they have taken inspiration from Congress party. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar. See, you said that they are picking it up from Congress. In fact, Sarkaria Commission, which was formed in 1970s itself, 1970s, yes, said that DMK is very well known for scientific corruption. So DMK actually mastered the art of corruption without being caught. One small example before we go to the current one. There is a Viranam scheme. The Viranam is a lake which which gets filled during monsoon by the river Kaveri, or the tributary of the Kaveri. And there was a proposal to construct or lay a pipeline to bring that Viranam lake water to Chennai, because Chennai always had a water problem, water scarcity for long. So they wanted to bring water to Chennai through that particular pipeline, laying the pipeline. And in that, it was observed that those days was a license raj. To get a cement bag, you need to get a government license, and then you go to the shop or you go to the godown and then get the license, get the cement bags. So that time, Mr. Murasali Maran was, I think, industry minister in Tamil Nadu, if I'm not wrong, in that government. They actually came up with a formula. Rather than actually getting money from the contractors who do the pipeline, the cement pipe manufacturing, they actually collect the money at the route itself. They issue a license of several hundred or several thousand bags. And when they go to, when the contractor goes to take it from the cement factories, at that point, someone will collect this money. I think 25 paise per bag or something was a calculation. They'll collect it upfront rather than wait for bills to be presented and take a percentage. So that is where Sarkaria Commission talked about this and then said scientific corruption models were executed by DMK. Just to recap that it is not that the DMK learned from Congress. Other way around, in my opinion, probably Congress learned it from DMK on how to do a scientific way of corruption. And so far, only good thing for DMK is they were never been caught, because they know exactly how to do it without leaving a trace behind. Unlike ADMK Jayalalitha, where she had 13 or 14 cases filed, and then in one case she got convicted also. So in this current scam, already there is a Senthil Balaji enforcement director case is very hot topic in Tamil Nadu. It is everyday courtroom battle is happening, and a lot of legal issues are coming up. So we'll anyway talk about it later on. A couple of days back, there is an NGO called Arappor Iyakkam. They actually they did an analysis for last 2 years of EB procurement of transformers. They just picked up one small portion of it. Okay, it's not that entire EB's TANGEDCO, which is Tamil Nadu Electricity Generation and Distribution Corporation. So TANGEDCO's one operation of procuring 45,000 transformers of different capacities between from the time the government was formed and then now are almost two plus little more than 2 years. They actually went through the entire assessment of how the tender was launched, how the competitive tender was operated. There were 10 different tenders were launched. The biggest was probably for 10,000 transformers. But rest of the transformers were 1,000, 2,000 or numbers. The beauty of it is, normally you would find multiple participants. Maybe one or two will have a same price that is quoted. The beauty of all the 10 tenders is all the participants, barring few, at least a couple of tenders, a couple of participants gave a different value. But barring that, nearly 30 to 39 participants on each of the tender gave exactly the same value. And the same value, according to the tender process, the quotation and RFQ process, request for quotation and tendering process, it's a L1, which is the lowest financial bid. Unfortunately, normally when you go for this sort of a large scale tendering process or bidding process, the market value is say X. Because of the volume, you will get a X minus Y percentage of the lowest value. In this case, it was 25% more than the market value of transformers. So, for example, if a transformer costs, say, 235 kV transformer costs about 5 lakh rupee, all the bidders presented a value of 7 lakh 10,000 or something like that. So, it is already a 25% or 30% inflated, bid, and all of them gave the same. It's just not for one tender. All the 10 tenders, the majority of the participants, majority I mean 99.9%, because only in one or two tenders, one or two participants have given a different rate, L2 and L3. But otherwise, 30 plus 30 to 39 participants have given the same value. So imagine the cartelization that has happened in this decision. So it appears that even the Araporiyakam, when they did the press meet on that, it appears to anybody who actually goes through that, the Tangentco, the bidding procurement team, and the participants, and probably some from the ministerial or politician level, three party sit together and then fill it up in one place. Okay, boss, this tender, this is the price, everybody should quote. And everybody quotes that price. The business was distributed to all the participants. It's just not that anyone would have lost the business. All the participants got equal distribution of the business. So if it is 1,000 transformers, 30 people each got 30 or 35 transformers to be submitted, so that everybody is happy. The participant gets the benefit because they bid about 2 lakh rupees extra per transformer, 25 to 30% more than the original market value. Definitely, the quid pro quo would have happened that the participants would have shared that booty with the politicians and the bureaucrats and the officials procurement committee. I even don't know, because we need to go a little more deeper into the criminal investigation has to happen to find out whether all the 30 participants are related parties. Because you could form 30 different companies. One same person can form 30 different companies. So which means then the business has gone to one single person or a few people. Maybe 2 or 3 bidders would have formed this 30 different organizations and then provided this particular code. So this is an unknown way of doing the bidding. Earlier days, I have seen in government contract bidding, normally what happens is, there is an insider trading happens that, normally a financial bid is open, and the last bid whom they want to award will be opened, finally, so that other participants' bids, they will know what is the value that is being provided. So the last bid will have one which is sealed, another one without with an empty, the value will not be filled. So after seeing whatever the amount given by the participants, they will just put 100 rupees less than so that they become an L1. So those sort of malpractices have happened in the past. This is scientific way of doing, because an audit or an investigation happens in future saying that, whether tendering or bidding process has been violated, all documentary evidence would show you that perfectly a tendering process was followed, 30 different tenders or bids were received, all of them had the same amount, coincidentally, for all the tenders. It's just it beats the theory of probability, right? So everybody is given the same number, and hence the business had to be given to all of them, because we are very fair to all the business participants of this tendering process. So we distribute this to all of them. So that is how this has been done. So a cartelize, I wouldn't take it as just a cartelization. It's just not a cartelization. It is a prefixed bidding process, so that tomorrow when a CNAG audit comes, or any other investigation, criminal investigation or litigation that comes up, the officials would say that we followed the process. Only difference is, come on, the market value can be X, but we got a bid for 30% more than, or 130% of the market value, but that's the lowest. So we will actually award to the lowest. That's a norm. So our bidding and tendering process is awarded to the lowest, whoever is qualified, the technically qualified, and then financial bid, whoever the lowest will award. So a perfect scientific way of doing a corruption and scam. I don't think CWG case or a 2G case or any other Congress case that Gayatri Devi you talked about, that DMK is learning from them, has not followed this process, right? Here they actually followed the process to the T. If a novice goes through an audit process, they'll say, okay, oh, here is a tender number 1. Everything is followed. Technical qualification made. Financial bid open. All the participants gave a same value. Such a coincidence beats the probability of the probability theory. Okay, sir, we will award equally to everybody. Second bid, same. Third bid, same. Very scientific way. So that's where the pattern probably got them, exposed. If they had actually beaten the pattern in 1 or 2 places, then they could have saved themselves. But here the pattern of successive bidding process, bringing them same value by just not 1 or 2 participants. See, normally a coincidental 1 or 2 participants would give that. Because if you give it in a roundabout value, say, okay, instead of 5 lakhs, I give a 7 lakh, right? But to the pie, to the rate, if you look at it, some of the bidding values, if you look at it, 7,07,823 rupees per transformer, right? And 1,22,501 rupee per transformer, 4,62,914 rupees. So these are amazingly coincidental, right? If someone says 7 lakh, okay, I can just pick up a number from the air and then say round about 7 lakh. To the pie, 30 different participants giving it means it's nothing but a cartelization, nothing but a fixed bid. So that is why this is a huge scam. About 400 crores of public money is lost, exchequer money is lost, public money is lost. And who is going to pay for it? A commoner like me, who has to shell out more from our pocket for the electricity charges. Electricity charges had already been hiked 2 years back, 1.5 years back. So we need to shell out that to feed this 400 crores of scam, right? And in my opinion, this is not going to be taken up for any investigation by the current government, for a simple reason.
Understood.
Even if there
It
is
is
an
there.
investigation, they'll say, it is their own government. Even if it is investigated, they'll say, oh, boss, there is a process laid out for bidding process and tendering process. It was followed. And they will say that there is no link between the participant 1 to participant 30. They are all independent parties. So you cannot prove a quid pro quo, right? You cannot prove that at all. So what can we do? This is the reality. So very, very easily they will duck down under this, guys. But thanks to Arapur Yekam, we have done a very diligent job of evaluating, going through the documents of every tender, and they just exposed it. Again, in this state, I am, I'm intrigued by silence from ADMK on this. It's a issue given to them on a platter. Already they should have just blown this out of proportion. Only Annamalai is talking about it, only BJP is talking about it, but ADMK is quite silent about it. Maybe if they talked about it during their period also, similar tendering process would have happened, in my opinion. So that's why they are keeping silent. This is an issue given to them on the platter, and they're just dead silence from ADMK. I don't understand why they are.
Or maybe some of the beneficiaries of this scam are from AIA DMK.
Possible. Some of them who participated in the bid would have been politician from ADMK also, right? But that is exposing them heavily, right? And probably, I don't know whether this will see a light at the end of the tunnel, but at least, and no media covered this. No media did the debate on that. Some print media carried the details. Of course, there was a press conference, so they had to do that. And then, Araporiyakam came on Twitter and placed every document on a public domain, 300-page investigation report, their internal report. They kept it on public domain. So
a lot of my viewers on the north do not know this person. Who is he exactly?
Who?
The person who exposed the scam.
Okay, this is an NGO. This is a non-governmental organization called Araporiyakam. Araporiyakam means, fighting for justice, right? That is the organization. It is a non-governmental organization. They have exposed several scams like that. Their only objective is to look at the corruption in public life, and they expose corruption in public life. They do a significant amount of cases. Even the current Senthil Balaji case, one of the appellant in Supreme Court, when the case was closed in 2021 by Madras High Court, saying that the money taken as a bribe was returned and hence the case was closed, right? Supreme Court reopened this and then said, how can a High Court be irresponsible by closing the case? That just because bribe money or the money that has been taken for cash for job scam money was returned to the people who didn't get the job, and hence case can be closed. That's when Supreme Court reopened it. In my opinion, this NGO also was part of one of the. They attached themselves to the case also in the Supreme Court argument. So it is a bunch of lawyers who help them and bunch of good Samaritans who do that, and they have exposed several corruption in public life in the past. This is something very sensational, if I may say so.
Thank you so much, sir, for bringing out this fact. The interesting part is how, no matter how good the law and order is, the judiciary is, but the politicians always find a way to siphon off hard-earned money of people. This is hard-earned money. This is not coming from their homes, right? People like you and me working hard and paying taxes, and this is how they just check it out. This is sad. And DMK, as you said, this is a scientific way of scamming, and I'm sure Congress has learned it from DMK. I actually agree with you now on that matter. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. जाने से पहले सभी viewers से request है, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the All Neat Media. If you want to contribute, you want to get in touch with me, you want to become a guest, you want to send a feedback, all the links are given in the description box. Feel free, go ahead and write to me. Jai Hind, Jai Shri Ram, Har Har Mahadev. Thank you so much.